Welcome to the Foundry, brought to you by Forge College. Now, I know you all just did some serious heavy lifting, completing the capstone assembly, finalizing the ERC 4337 technical brief lesson. Seriously, great job wrapping your heads around account abstraction and all those moving parts. It's a ton to take in. But today, we're going to pivot to a slightly lighter, yet absolutely crucial topic. We are looking at the true holy grail of crypto engineering, stability. In this explainer, we're going to explore exactly how stable value is engineered, transferred, and managed on a high-performance network. Okay, let's dive right into this blueprint. We've got 5 main sections to cover today to demystify how stable assets actually power real-world applications on Solana. We're going to start with stablecoin engineering basics, move into Solana's SPL mechanics, tackle the rail versus the promise, map out real-world payment workflows, and wrap it all up with a final inspection. Section 1. Stablecoin engineering basics. Let's lay down a rock-solid conceptual foundation before we start looking at the actual on-chain plumbing. So let's kick things off with a very clear, practical definition. A stablecoin is, at its core, a digital token engineered to maintain a highly stable exchange rate to a reference asset. Usually that's a fiat currency like the US dollar. Now, keeping that peg perfectly balanced requires external data, which perfectly ties back to our previous deep dive on high-frequency Oracle feeds. You literally cannot have engineered stability without perfect real-world data. That's exactly why stablecoins rely so heavily on reliable networks like Pyth and Switchboard. Those oracles are basically the critical sensors feeding smart contract rules to make sure the peg doesn't drift. But how do we actually anchor that value? Well, the engineering generally branches into 2 main stabilization approaches: fiat-backed stablecoins and algorithmic stablecoins. And wow, is it quite the contrast. With fiat-backed, your value anchor relies on traditional, let's say slightly sluggish bank reserves, guys in suits with spreadsheets. But with algorithmic, your anchor is high-tech, strictly on-chain collateral and code, which, let's be honest, can occasionally be a bit nerve-wracking if the market decides to get super volatile. Because of these fundamentally different architectures, your source of trust shifts completely. For fiat, you're trusting custodial audits, legal contracts, and off-chain attestations. For algorithmic, your trust is placed 100% in protocol code, collateralization math, and automated market incentives. Moving on to Section 2, Solana's SPL mechanics. We know what these assets are theoretically, so let's check out how they're actually assembled on-chain. The elegance of Solana's architecture is really something. A stablecoin here isn't some overly complex custom smart contract. It's just built using standard SPL stablecoin primitives. First, you have the SPL mint, which acts as the canonical on-chain identifier and records the total supply. Then you have token accounts, which hold the actual balances for different addresses. And, crucially, you have the mint authority. This is the control mechanism, often a multisig or a program, that dictates exactly when new tokens can be issued or burned. Because all these artifacts live natively on-chain, it gives us incredible operational visibility. Anyone can instantly audit a total supply, fetch transfer histories, and monitor movement patterns without ever needing a bank's permission. Section 3. The rail versus the promise. This right here is the core paradigm of this whole blueprint. Think of a stablecoin as both a rail and a promise. I really want you to internalize that phrase. Separating the technical plumbing from the underlying economic reality is the absolute secret to engineering safe, reliable, decentralized finance applications. Once you split these 2 concepts in your head, making practical engineering trade-offs becomes significantly easier to reason about. Let's break that contrast down. The rail is your technical plumbing. It's the SPL mechanics, the fast on-chain settlement, the low transaction fees, the predictable confirmation times. It's that lightning-fast, highly reliable infrastructure engineered on Solana. The promise, on the other hand, represents the actual cargo moving on those rails. It is the economic claim, the legal enforceability, the redemption routes, and the fiat or algorithmic backing itself. Here's why this distinction matters so much. If the rail works perfectly but the promise fails, say a custodian totally mismanages the bank reserves, your tokens will still transfer instantly on-chain, absolutely, but they're going to be financially worthless. Your engineers harden the rail, for sure, but your risk and compliance teams are the ones who must verify and enforce the promise. Section 4, Real-World Payment Workflows. Let's see how all this theory builds into an actual functional workflow for payment acceptance. Let's walk through a standard payment transaction circuit. Step 1 is address generation, where you present an associated token account to the payer. Step 2 is the SPL transfer initiated by the user. Step 3 is on-chain confirmation, where you observe the transaction finality via RPC. Step 4 is the ledger update, where you provisionally credit the user in your internal system. And finally, step 5, reconciliation. Notice how we are very deliberately separating the incredibly fast on-chain settlement steps 1 through 3, from the off-chain reconciliation and compliance checks in step 5. You have to securely bridge the digital speed of the rail with the physical reality of the promise. Incidentally, exploring how to build, harden, and monitor these exact types of integration gateways is precisely the kind of hands-on learning you'll find throughout the programs at Forge College. Now, what if we expand this workflow beyond just simple payments? If you're integrating real-world assets, or RWAs, the workflow gets quite a bit heavier. You have to lock incoming investor stablecoins in a treasury account, mint a specific RWA token that represents the claim on the physical asset, maintain ongoing attestations to prove your reserves actually match your liabilities, and provide really clear legal redemption paths. The fast, transparent on-chain rail is still right there doing its job flawlessly, but the off-chain promise now requires constant, vigilant checks of custody contracts, trustee arrangements, and legal enforceability. Because the stakes are higher, the engineering around the promise must be completely airtight. Section 5, Final Inspection. It's time to initiate the final sign-off on our engineering teardown today. Here are your key takeaways to implement in your own builds. First, always separate the technical rail from the economic promise in your system architecture. Second, ensure you instrument and monitor both the on-chain supply signals and the off-chain attestations. And third, match your integration choices to the specific stabilization model of the asset you are using. The absolute crucial point is this: combining fast on-chain settlement with high liquidity is incredibly powerful, but it literally only works safely if you are actively monitoring both the network's health and the custodian's bank statements. You just cannot afford to have a blind spot in either domain. I want to leave you with a critical, highly proactive question for your next project's risk assessment. Who controls your stablecoin's mint authority, and exactly how often are those reserve attestations updated? If you can't answer that right away, well, you've got an engineering vulnerability. In our next explainer on stability mechanisms on Solana, we're going to dive deep into actual peg designs, reserve structures, and see exactly how these automated systems fight to stay balanced. Until then, I highly encourage you to visit forge.college to learn more about this subject and explore other fascinating Web3 topics. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you in the next one.